Judy Jones, 235 North 8 Mile Road, Casper, Wyoming. I'm here tonight to ask the commission to not renew Mr. Knight's contract with the county, but seek out a new county attorney from either the state pool, the DECO, or the private sector. I want you to know I didn't come to this conclusion lightly, or even for personal retribution or anything like that, but rather as a concerned citizen. Just as a citizen who has had to muddle her way through the county's legal department, state laws, resolutions, with less than a clear understanding of them until now. I won't take up a lot of your time by making wild allegations. I'm here as a concerned citizen and trying to understand Mr. Knight's obsession with my husband and I feel, as well as many others, that there are some problems with our current county attorney and his lack of accurate interpretation of our state laws, local regulations, and the Constitution. These can no longer be ignored. He has advised this commission on many issues that were later to be found inaccurate, not only in Judge Sullivan's courtroom, but through my attorney and other attorneys as well throughout town. The last 4 years, let's take a look at the county attorney's record. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to give the commission kind of a summary of instances that I feel Mr. Knight's track record is not untarnished. The first example, we'll go back to 2010. Mr. Knight advised the Board of County Commissioners, then with Bart Purium on board still, that they could make an ordinance, and I think it was TA0010, essentially banning more than one inoperable car on private property in the county and classifying it as a nuisance. That ordinance stayed on the books until it was challenged by citizens in October 2010. The 9 months that the county was ticketing and prosecuting people on more than one unlicensed vehicle on their private property until it was discovered not only by some sharp citizens, but our attorney and many others, that this ordinance, because of it's a direct conflict with the state laws, was actually void. The state law allowed up to 4 unlicensed vehicles on a property without being called a nuisance. Mr. Knight failed to advise this commission of the state laws at any time during that 9 months, rendering this ordinance void in all legal standards. Do you realize how many people were forced to get rid of their cars and their antique trucks because of the change in ordinance? Hundreds of thousands of dollars were crushed at Pacific Steel because people simply did not know that this ordinance was not only void because of its lack of following state statutes, but they were now being ticketed for these vehicles. Can I continue? I'll get to the point here, I swear.
Can you finish up shortly?
Okay. Well, it's kind of important, so I'll skip over some of the highlights here and just get down to the brass tacks. Okay, the second example, the natural expansion doctrine. This one too had quite a bit about it, and it took my district court decision to save that. And then less than 6 months later, it was brought before this board to try to eliminate that once again. The point I'm making here is that he's advising this council improperly. And I think, I don't know if he just doesn't understand our state laws and our constitutions or what, but at some point he's going to have to be held accountable. And one last, I'll just pass these out. Can I do you guys? This is a letter that I just received the 18th of November. I'm sorry, I missed you. From Tom Doyle's Treasury's office. And seems the county attorney is now dabbling in sales tax issues with the county. Anyway, that letter came to us and it says that we owe like $7,000 in taxes on sales, but it didn't come with any documentation of the calculations of this or where it came from or who wanted it. I didn't see a reason why Mr. Knight should be delving into our tax records, and I find that very suspicious. I spoke with Mr. Doyle about it last Tuesday, and he said he was waiting on these so-called records. But my point to this is, Tom put his name on that, saying that we owed this money without any proof of it. He looks kind of bad. I mean, would you, send out a bill from any one of your businesses saying you owe X amount of dollars with nothing to back it up, saying this is what we did for you, or this is what you're charged for, or any of that? And some of those vehicles on there are ICC exempt. We use them in our business. And I understand that state law does not require me to register my vehicles in Natrona County. I can register them anywhere. If you want to go buy, say, Amazon Jude plates, I could get those in Hot Springs County because it's taken here in Natrona County. Okay, I don't feel the need for him to be delving into our private records anymore. I mean, I thought we put all this to bed and we were moving on. I feel like this is one more attempt to harass me or my husband, and I guess that's, since time's up, I'll lay it on. Thank you.
No, hang on, Mr. Chairman, I got a question. So, Mr. Key, I see Tom Doyle's name on this letter, but I mean, how is the county attorney linked in this at all?
Because he came up with the records, and then he was supposed to give them to Mr. Doyle, and Tom doesn't know anything about it. He's doing his own research on this, and he said, like this one, this one, this one. They're driving down the highway right now. They're registered out of Hot Springs County. It's our choice to do that. I mean, so this was at Mr. Knight's. I don't know if he went rogue and did it on his own, or when you guys asked him.
You've provided that information to Tom?
Tom is still, he's got on hold because he's doing his own records check right now, and then we'll compare. I called him and I told him, I said, whatever you don't have, I'll help you.
Okay.
So he's fully aware of it, but I don't understand what Mr. Knight's doing in my tax stuff. That's Tom's job.
And I believe you provided that information to him.
For our trial.
Yes.
That was for our trial.
Yes.
Okay, and that was all put to bed, I thought. We all thought that. And I apologized to the board apologized to me, and everybody made up. So why now is he digging into my tax records? Okay, and coming up with numbers without any substantiating documents to show this. I mean, he put Tom in a very precarious situation.
Would you like to return to the lectern so everybody can hear you? The county attorney is an employee of the county.
Right, but
And
he
so
wasn't
he
asked by
has-
Tom to do this.
But he has a responsibility when he sees something that doesn't look right to turn it over to the correct person. That's exactly.
So why wasn't this brought up
He
for the
turned
last
it-
3 years then?
And I believe that that list was provided by you about a year ago.
No, it was provided for my trial for 2012, almost 2 years ago. And the titles, the county's had those since 2010 when this began. Okay, now unless he's doing this to everybody in this room, if you buy a car from him or him,
Well, everybody has to pay their sales taxes, et cetera. Commissioner Henry.
So to get kind of to the bottom of this, all of these vehicles that were listed, did you take?
some of those we don't even own.
Well, I don't know how they got it. but
That's what I'm saying, I don't know how they got it.
Did you take the information into Tom Doyle and tell him if?
I will, as soon as he's done doing his research. He wanted to do some stuff first, because I told him this morning, I
Then
said,
you've taken care of it.
I will be taking care of it through Tom, but
Okay.
my point is this guy keeps advising you guys on things that are not right. The natural expansion doctrine, I mean, sure, I got a list of them, there's like 9 of them. Grandfathering, that was another big boo-boo, even the Salt Creek hearing, it's all done and said and it's finished tonight, but we all know that that wasn't done correctly. The salaries, okay, what would it kill Bill to go through the Constitution and find out that his cap was $100,000 and tell you guys this before you got in there trying to debate how much to give him a raise? You see what I'm saying? I call it sloppy work. If you're gonna do something, do it right, do it to the best of your ability, and give you boys all the information you need so that you can make decisions that we'll all back you up on. So,
And we are not required to get his permission to give him a raise. That was our decision, not his.
but, no, but as your county attorney, he should have notified you and said, look, guys,
He
Here's
didn't know
Wyoming
that. He couldn't know.
Constitution,
He couldn't have
my
known.
cap.
He couldn't have.
He was in the room with you, Forrest, I know. Linda
At
was
that
sitting there.
moment, he didn't know prior to that, so he had no advanced warning that that was going to happen.
He didn't know his renewal was coming up after a year.
We're talking about a raise, not the renewal.
Well, I'm asking you not to renew his contract again. Let's get an attorney in here that'll
Well,
advise you
stay
guys
on the point if
properly.
you would,
We
please.
can take that under review.
Well, that's fine, but I mean, I just wanted it on the record that, you know, him diving into our tax returns, he's gonna pull this crap on me. He better be pulling it on everybody in county. Because you know what this looks like again? This looks like harassment. And I'm not gonna tolerate it. You know that. I mean, I do my best to be good to you guys and come with good stuff and not get in here and be a jerk or anything, but I don't need this either. So thank you.
Any other public comments?
All that 27A1 Cherokee. I guess this was brought up, was it 6 weeks ago when you had the work session talking about the county attorney's raise and others' raise or possibility of them and such. Mr. Chairman, I guess basically I have a question for you directly, and that during that meeting you had said that you used the term "we." Let me back up. When you started mentioning the raise, Commissioner Keating brought up the point that he thought there was a cap on that. And you made a statement, Mr. Chairman, that you used the term "we," investigated that extensively, and referenced and said that that cap had been removed long ago before Renee was even here. I guess my question is, who was the "we" that investigated that, looked into that was unable to find that?
That was myself, the county clerk, and the county clerk from Laramie County. We called her because their opinion was different from our opinion. We thought that we had a cap and we were there. We called Laramie County and asked them specifically, and they said, no, there is no cap. That was removed, and we were going with that information on that day. So that's the "we." So
Okay,
there were
that's
several of us involved in that investigation. After we made that decision, then Mr. Knight went into the statutes and found where we could not do that. And he has determined that it is very specific and we cannot.
Okay, well, thank you. I was just kind of wondering who did supposedly extensive research and was unable to find this in the Constitution or the statutes, either one, so. Okay, thanks.
Any other public comment? Commissioners' comments? Commissioner Keating?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Val?
Would you come back to me?
Okay. Commissioner Winger?
Nothing.
Commissioner Hendry?
I have a couple of things. I got an email this afternoon that Robertson Road is open partially. They got the blacktop over the culvert, so that has been a real hassle for people out in that end of the county, and maybe they'll lessen the traffic going down CY. CY is pretty well open. So we're almost. Then the other thing is that a friend of mine and a longtime rancher in Natrona County, I heard had passed away just the other day. Con Murphy passed away. And, you know, some people got along great with him, some people didn't get along great with him. But I'll tell you what, since 1957 when he came here, he did a lot and always traded up and ended up being one of the largest landowners in Natrona County. And pretty good old Irish. So anyway, Connie Murphy died.
Thank you.
states that you, in many cases, subscribe to our county attorney are the result of the county commissioners working ahead without his considered opinion, providing him direction on what we wanted to see. So, I think you're off base. I'm willing to say that I support Bill Knight as county attorney unequivocally, and that he has been responsive, as is his job, to the commissioners and to represent the other county officials. Relative to this letter goes back to a conversation detailing the full discovery process that you disclosed, that we could not find transfer of titles or registration or the payment of sales taxes for all the vehicles that were disclosed in your lawsuit, extending back to 10 years or more of bill of sales. Long discussion with Tom, me, myself. Tom had discussions with the Department of Revenue about all the apparent lack of retitling and payment of sales taxes. And we came to the determination that, along with the Department of Revenue, that we could not go back any further than 3 years. 3 years were gone back. These were the issues that were unresolved. We had no way of knowing, Tom had no way of knowing, or Bill Knight or myself, that these apparently had been retitled in Hot Springs County and sales tax paid at that time. It is Tom Doyle's responsibility to collect sales tax. And when he can't collect sales taxes, it's his responsibility to turn it over to the Department of Revenue. So the issues, I think, are fairly straightforward on this. I think Tom Doyle has done his job. Bill Knight has done his job. And if you have delivered the information that Tom requires, then he will make an adjustment of whatever sales tax may or may not be done. It may or may not be done. So that's a simple answer to what you perceive that we're asking. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Ballin. As for myself, I would like to speak to the same issue. And for one, what you see of Mr. Knight is less than 5% of what I see. I work with Bill closely every day, and Heather also. We have innumerable issues that we have to address every single day. So you're seeing a very small amount of it. And as Commissioner McDowell already stated, he is acting at the behest of the county commissioners. And he does have my full support. I think he's a very good county attorney. And that's all I have. Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, I got one other thing.
Rob?
You know, I bought a piece of equipment out of state, and I was interested in buying the equipment, getting back here. I didn't think about paying sales tax. The county found me. They came after me, they were picking on me, and I got caught. So guess what? I came in here and paid the tax. Didn't think about it.
As soon as I see documentation of it, I'll be sure to take care of
They
mine.
saw documentation of mine, and I don't even know how they found out. but it doesn't matter, I'm caught. So I came in here and I thought, yeah, I didn't, so. Yeah, because I took care of it.
Yeah, thank you. I'd also like to go on record that the issues, and the majority of the issues that you pointed out, Jamie, were honestly issues that you have with the commission, not the county attorney. He, some others, we should probably take to heart what you had to say and maybe listen more closely to what he had to say. He definitely has my full support. He's doing a great job.
Mine as well.
And honestly, I'll take this opportunity just to be in full disclosure. I did talk to Dana a couple of times, about this, and Terry last week came in with this, and we just walked down the hall and asked Tom about it, because Tom's a great guy,
Oh, yeah.
and it was my advice to Dana to, look, just come on in and sit down and talk to Tom, you two good guys, work it out. There's no conspiracy here, figure it out.
I appreciate your honesty.
Okay, and
Mr. Chairman, I better say something, everybody else say something. I enjoyed.
You don't have to, Terry.
Then I won't.
Move to
No,
adjourn.
I just want to say I enjoyed working with all of you, but I know I have another meeting left, so I'll be here.
Okay, you got some.
see you